بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي رب يسر ولا تؤسر وتمم بالخير. Exercise number 2. أمام كل جملة فيما يأتي فعل مضارع. Now we can see that in front of every sentence أمام كل جملة فيما يأتي, that follows فعل مضارع, we have the present tense as we can see over here. ضعه في الفراغ مسبوقا بلا ناهية, and then we have to put this verb in the blanks as we can see here, preceded by لا الناهية. واضبط آخره, and then we have to vowelize or vocalize the ending. So fill in the blanks in each of the following sentences with a verb given in the brackets as we can see here by لا الناهية, and vocalize the verbs correctly. أحدكم في الطريق. So we have to put لا الناهية before it. Yes.
لا يجلس أحدكم في الطريق. Let him not sit in the road. In the way.
Excellent. لا يجلس أحدكم في الطريق. No one among you should sit in the street or on the road. All right, excellent. So as we can see here, لا يجلس here, as we can see that this is for the third person, and that means it refers to anyone. لا يجلس أحدكم, anyone among you في الطريق, in the road. Excellent. يفتح, and we have here, so we will say لا يفتح. Excellent. لا يفتح أحد باب الفصل قبل أن يرن الجرس. No one should open the door of the classroom before the bell rings. Excellent. So again we have لا يفتح. All right. Then we have يزور اليوم أحد.
لا يزر.
لا يزر. Excellent. لا يزرني اليوم أحد. No one visited me today. لا يزرني. So as we can see here, it was لا يزور, and because of لا الناهية, as we know that لا الناهية is used for the third person, it is also used for the second person and also for the first person. But when we use it for the third person and the first person, which is al-ghaib and al-mutakallim, then it gives the meaning of should, and no one should do that. Whereas when we talk to the second person, that is a direct command, that means don't do it. All right, and then we have number 4, أحد في الفصل.
لا ينام أحد في الفصل. No one should sleep
Again,
in the class.
لا
ينام.
ينام. Excellent. لا ينام. All right. As you know that we have a weak verb over there, or the weak letter over there, which is alif, and when we use la before that, basically the ending will be saakin, so it becomes yanam, and when we have iltiqa sakinain, then the weak letter will be dropped, so it becomes la yanam. La yanam ahadun fil fasli. No one should sleep in the classroom. Excellent. Most of the sentences are about the classroom. يبقى أحد في الفصل بعد الحصة الأخيرة.
لا يبقى.
لا يبقى. All right, so the change that will take place, alif maqsura will be dropped.
Okay.
Excellent. So it will be لا يبقى أحد في الفصل بعد الحصة الأخيرة. No one should stay in the classroom after the last period. يجلس. لا يجلس الزوار عند المريض أكثر من ربع ساعة. No one should sit with the patient more than 15 minutes. Excellent. And as we know that when we connect it with al, then we will put kasra, so it will be لا يجلس الزوار. All right. Then we have 2 blanks here. يدخل ويخرجون. الطلاب. Yes.
لا يدخل.
لا يدخل الطلاب. Excellent. لا يدخل الطلاب قاعة الامتحان قبل الساعة 7. No one should enter the exam hall before 7 o'clock. Yes.
ولا يخرجوا.
ولا يخرجوا. Excellent. ولا يخرجوا منها قبل الساعة الثامنة, and no one should leave before 8 o'clock. Excellent. So as we know, when we have يخرجون, then the noon will be dropped and extra alif will be added to that. بعضكم من بعض.
لا يسخر.
لا يسخر بعضكم من بعض. No one should ridicule the other. All right. Excellent. يرفع أحد صوته في المسجد.
لا يرفع أحد
لا
صوته.
يرفع أحد صوته في المسجد. No one should raise their voice in the masjid. Excellent. And طالبات أسماءهن في دفاتر إجابة. Yes.
لا تكتب.
لا تكتب. Excellent. Perfect. لا تكتب, and when we connect with al, it will be لا تكتب الطالبات أسماءهن في دفاتر الإجابة. The students should not write their names on the answer sheets. Then we have some information about al-jazim, as we know that we are studying about jawazim al-mudari, the choppers of the present tense. Al-jazimu fi'lan wahidan arbatu ahrufin. So the chopper of one verb, there are 4 letters or there are 4 particles. Harfun, basically it will be translated as particle, as we know that there are many kinds of huruf in Arabic language, like we have huruf jara, and then there are many, like, and among them we have the jawazim. So there are 4 particles of jazm for one verb only. Wahiya, and they are lam, as we have learned, kama fi qawlihi ta'ala, alam naj'al lahu 'aynayn wa lisanan wa shafatayn. So as we can see here, after lam we have naj'al, so the ending has become saakin. Did we not make for him 2 eyes and 1 tongue and 2 lips? So alam naj'al, and then we have lahu 'aynayn. Then we have lamma, number 2. You know that lamma, when it is used with the present tense, it gives the meaning of not yet. Lamma kama fi qawlihi ta'ala, walamma yadkhulil imanu fi qulubikum, for faith has not yet entered your hearts. When we use lamma with the past tense, it gives the meaning of when. But when we use it with the present tense, then it becomes harf jazm. It gives jazm to the ending of the present tense, and also it gives the meaning of not yet. Then we have la an-nahiyatu, kama fi qawlihi ta'ala, la tahzan inna Allah ma'ana, do not grieve, indeed Allah is with us. And then the last one is Laam al-Amr, as we are discussing about it in this lesson, kama fi qawlihi ta'ala, فَلْيَنظُرِ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَى طَعَمِهِ, then let mankind look at his food. So as we know that Laam al-Amr has 4 types, which is li, and then we have fal, wal, and thummal. Excellent. So all of them, they are the types of Laam al-Amr. Excellent. Then we have exercise number 3. هاتي ثلاثة أمثلة لا ناهية الداخلة على فعل الغائب. Now we have to give 3 examples of la nahiya used with the third person, which is very important. So we have discussed these examples in the previous exercise, and also we have some examples here. لا يرفع أحد رأسه من السجود قبل الإمام. No one must raise his head in the prostration before the imam. So must not, yani if someone raises that, his prayer will be nullified. And of course it refers to the prayer in jama'ah. So whenever someone is praying, he has to follow the imam, and if he's any part of the prayer, any rukun of the prayer, if someone prays it before the imam, then his prayer will be nullified. لا يلعب أحد في ساحة المسجد. No one should play in the yard of the masjid. And لا تكتب الطالبات على جدران المدرسة. the students should not write on the walls of the school. Jidarun, and the plural is judran. So it has two plurals. The second one, inshallah, we will see in the end of the lesson. Hati arba'a jumalin. Now we have to give 4 sentences. Min insha'ika, from your own composition. تحوي كل واحدة منها حرفا. Each one containing one of حرفا يجزم فعلا واحدا containing one of the 4 jawazim. So now we have to give 4 sentences of your own composition, each containing one of the 4 jawazim. Okay, whereas let's stick to the examples that we have discussed from the Quran. So do you remember all the 4 examples from the Quran that we gave in the beginning of the lesson? La an-nahiyatu. Yes, do you remember the example of la an-nahiyatu? La tahzan, inna Allaha ma'ana. Excellent, that's number 1. Number 2, lam yalid wa lam yulad.
لم يلد ولم يولد.
Excellent. Then we have lamma. We have discussed in the previous exercise. Lamma yadkhul al-imanu fi qulubikum. Excellent. And then we have li, and we have li yunfiq dhu sa'atin min sa'ati, as we had in the previous or in the beginning of the lesson as well. And falyanzur al-insanu ila ta'ami, as we have discussed in the previous exercise. Whereas it says from your own composition, of course, now you can practice and you can write down as many examples as you want to. But as we know that we will stick to the examples from the Quran, as we have discussed that if we remember one example of the Quran, of the one rule from the Quran, inshallah, then we will not forget it. اقرأه مرة أخرى تفهمه. Read it again, you will understand it. هنا تفهم مجزوم. Here تفهم is majzoom لأنه وقع جوابا للطلب, as it happened to be the answer of the talab or jawab al-talab. As we discussed in the beginning of the lesson, that whenever we have talab, so jawab al-talab, whenever we have a request or we have amrun or nahyun. So talab means it could be a request, it could be prohibition, and it could be a command. So whenever we have talab, then jawab al-talab will be majzoom. As we can see here, iqra'hu, so basically iqra is command, which is basically talab, a demand or a request. So when we say iqra'hu marratan ukhra tafhamhu, so we can see over here that jawab al-talab is majzoom. إذا وقع المضارع جوابا لطلب جزم. Again, as إذا وقع المضارع جوابا لطلب, so when the present tense happens to be jawab al-talab juzima, then it becomes saakin, or it becomes majzoom, or it becomes chopped, as we discussed. So juzima, as we can see here, juzima is a passive verb. How do we know it is passive? It starts with dhamma, and then the second last root letter has kasra juzima. So this is for the past tense. Wa min anwa' al-talabi, and then the kinds of talab or the kinds of demand, al-amru, which is basically al-amr, which is a command, wa nahyu, and prohibition. Nahwu, for example, i'mal amalan salihan tadkhulil jannata. Do good deeds and you will enter Jannah. So i'mal, as we can see that this is basically a talab, which is basically al-amr, and jawab al-talab is tadkhul, you will enter, tadkhulil jannata, you will enter Jannah. Then we have la taksal, don't be lazy, tanjah, you will succeed. So we can see here that la taksal is basically a nahyu, it is prohibition, and then the mudari, the present tense, has become majzoom, as we can see over here. Ayin, as we know that ayin means basically the original meaning is to specify. It can also be translated as point out. Jawab al-talabi fi kulli jumlatin. Now we have to point out jawab al-talab in every sentence, mimma yati, that follows. Wadbituhu bishakli, and then we have to vocalize it correctly. All right. Ijlis nasma'il akhbara. All right, so which one is jawab al-talab over here? Ijlis is amrun, as we know. This is fi'l al-amr.
نسمع.
Nasma, excellent. So ijlis, nasma. So basically, it will be nasma'il akhbara. So nasma is basically jawab al-talab. If naqra hadha al-i'lana, stop, let's read this announcement.
If is طلب
Talab,
أمر
okay, and jawab al-talab. So we have to focus on jawab al-talab, yes.
نقرأ is جواب الطلب.
Excellent. Naqra. So it will be saakin.
نقرأ.
Naqra.
Okay.
Perfect. Very good. Ahsanti. Then we have zurni azurka. Visit me and I will visit you.
Visit you.
Zurni is talab.
أزورك.
Azur. Azur basically is, yes, azur is basically jawab talab, which is majzoom. And ka, as we know, is maf'ul bihi. Azurka, I will follow you. I will visit you. Ta'ala nadhhab ila as-suqi. Come, let's go to the market.
تعال طلب
Talab, excellent. Nadhhab is jawab talab. Excellent. Come, let's go to the market. Ijtahid tanjah. Work hard and you will succeed. Ijtahid is talab, which is basically fi'l al-amr. Tanjah is jawab al-talab. Excellent. So here nasma', naqra, azur, nadhhab, and tanjah, all of them are jawab al-talab. Excellent. لا تشرك بالله تدخل الجنة. تدخل الجنة. Okay. لا تشرك طلب, which is basically nahyun. Okay.
تدخل.
تدخل, excellent, is جواب الطلب. Perfect. This is جواب الطلب. Very good. في التنزيل in the Quran وقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم. And your Lord says, call upon me, I will respond to you. Ud'uni, excellent. Ud'uni, as we know, this is talab, and astajib is jawab talab. It was basically astajibu, and astajibu. So two things have happened. The ending became saakin, that's number one, and then the ya has also been dropped because of iltiqa saakinain. It was astajibu, and the ya has been dropped. وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمْ ادْعُونِي أَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ. And your Lord says, call upon me, I will respond to you. قال موسى عليه السلام لله تعالى ربي أرني أنظر إليك كما جاء في سورة الأعراف الآية 143. My Lord, show me yourself that I may look at you. Yes, so Rabbi Arini. Ari basically is talab, which is fi'l al-amr. In this case, of course, this is a request. And then anzur, as we can see here, I may look, or I look at you. So anzur ilayka. So anzur basically, as we can see here, is jawab al-talab, and this is majzoom. في حديث ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما. Then we have a hadith, a very beautiful hadith. احفظ الله يحفظك. So the translation will be protect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will protect you. But of course, when we talk about protecting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that means the hududullah, or the ahkam al-sharia. So when we talk about the boundaries of the Islam, or the obligations that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked us to follow, so if we follow the obligations of the Islam, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect us. Ihfadillah yahfadka, and ihfadillah tajidhu tujahaka. And similarly, if you follow the rulings of the Islam, then you will find Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with you, or in front of you, or on your side. It's a very beautiful hadith. It is from Arba'in al-Nawawi. There are 14 hadith of Nawawi rahmatullah alayh. He has compiled 14 hadith, a hadith very famous, and this is hadith number 15. So please, whenever you get time, try to go through these Arba'in al-Nawawi, the 14 hadith of Imam Nawawi rahmatullah alayh. They are very, very useful, inshallah, and they will help us a lot in both in learning Islam, our Aqidah, and also learning Arabic language as well. Rawahu Tirmidhi, it was narrated by Tirmidhi. أكمل كل جملة مما يأتي بالفعل المكتوب أمامها. Now we have to complete each of the sentences with the word that we find in front of the sentence, basically. أكمل كل جملة, so we have to complete each sentence. مما يأتي بالفعل المكتوب, with the verb that is written before أمامها, before it. Okay, قف كتابا. It is أشتري. أشتري, the same pattern as أفعل أذهب. أشتري, basically it is أشتري. Yes. قف.
If ashtari, the ya gets dropped.
Excellent. أشتري كتابا. Stop. I want to buy a book, or I will buy a book. أشتري, I will buy a book. تعالى أقول لك شيئا.
Akul.
أقول, excellent. So we will make the ending saakin, so it becomes أقول, and we have Laam and iltiqa saakinain, meeting of two saakin letters, and we know the weak has to be dropped, so that's why it becomes تعالى أقول لك شيئا. Come, I want to say something to you, or I will say something to you. So yes, sister, again you can see here أشتري, I will buy, or I buy. أقول, I will say. Azuru, I will visit, or I visit. So all of them, they are on the pattern of al-mutakallim, the speaker, for the singular. And if we have the plural, then it will be nashtari wa naqulu. The plural comes with noon, and the singular comes with alif, basically with hamza. أقول أذهب. ابحث عن هذا, or ابحث عن هذا الكتاب في المكتبات. تجده. Excellent. Look for this book in the libraries. You will find it. Excellent. اسأل المدرسة عن هذه المسألة. Ask the teacher about this question or about this problem, and he will respond to you. Excellent. MashaAllah. هذه ثلاثة أمثلة للجزم بالطلب. Now we have to give 3 examples of jazm bil talab. Yes, excellent. So we have over here قف نسأل هذا الرجل عن العنوان. Stop, let's ask this man about the address. تعالى نأكل. Come, let's eat. قم نمشي. Come, let's walk. Or قم basically means, قم means to stand up. If someone is sitting, we say qum, stand up, let's walk. So we have here qif. So because this is talab, after that nasal is majzoom bi talab. Ta'ala is also fi'l al-amr, and then we have na'kul is majzoom bi talab, and similarly we have qum, which is fi'l al-amr from qama yaqumu qum, and then namshi is jawab al-talab, which is majzoom. تأمل الأمثلة الآتية للندبة. Now we have the examples. We have to reflect upon the examples for nudbah, as we have discussed about it, to express pain or sorrow. وأكمل الناقص, and then we have to complete the missing. So when we say ra'si, so ra'si, as we discussed in the previous lesson, that we put wa, and then in the end we put ah. So it becomes wa ra'sah, yani I have headache. Then we have yadi, and then you say wa yada, yani my heart is my hand is hurting. Batani, and then we say wa batana, yani I have stomach ache, or my stomach is hurting. Qalbi.
Wa qalba.
Excellent. Wa qalba. Excellent. Wa qalba, yani I have a heartache, or my heart is paining. Yes. Dhahri.
Wa dhahra.
Wa dhahra. Excellent. Wa dhahra, I have a backache. Aini, my eyes.
Wa aynaha.
Excellent. Wa aynah, yani my eyes are hurting. Sinni, my tooth. Wa sinna. Yes.
Wa sinna.
Yeah, I have a toothache. So wa sinna. And rijli, my foot, or my leg. Wa rijla. Yeah, excellent. Warijla. All right, excellent. So these are just some expressions which are used, or this expression basically is used to express pain. And also it is used to express sorrow as well. Ahi or ahin, ismu fi'lin mudari'in. So this is basically ismul fi'l. بمعنى أتوجع يعني I am feeling pain. مبني على الكسر, it is fixed on the kasra. وفاعله ضمير مستتر, and its doer is the hidden ضمير. وجوبا تقديره أنا, and its hidden meaning is أنا. So we can see here that ahi and ahin. Okay, we need to know, if you remember in the past, I told you that when we say that this is mabniyun al kasri, mabniyun al kasri means whether we have single kasra or kasratain, we will still say that this is mabniyun al kasri, because basically tanween is not a vowel sign. Please remember that tanween is not a vowel sign. This is basically the noon sound. Noon sound. So when we say zaydun, zaydan, zaydin, so basically zaydun we will say marfu bil dhamma. Zaydan, then we will say mansub bil fatha wa zaydin majroor bil kasra. So whenever we have dhammatain or fathatain or kasratain, we will not say that these are the vowel signs. We will say that this is the noon sound. This is the noon sound. So when we say that this is mabniyun al kasri, that means whether it has kasratain or whether it has kasra, in either case we will say that this is mabni al kasra. And the hidden meaning is about taqdiruhu ana, yani I am hurting, I am paining, or I am feeling pain, or I am suffering from pain. So basically when we say it means I am suffering from pain. Tamarinu ammatun, general exercises. Tamarinu mamnu min as-sarf, on the pattern of mafa'ilu. Ammatun, why we have ammatun here? General exercises. Both of them are, yes, both of them are marfu. All right, that's number one. Number two, tamarinu is a broken plural. It's a broken plural. It's the plural of tamrinun. So you know that the broken plural is considered as singular feminine. That's why this is masuf and the sifa is singular feminine. That's why we have the sifa which is singular feminine. Tamarinu ammatun, general exercises. Hati jam al kalimat al atiyati. Now we have to provide the plural of the following nouns. Al kalimat al atiyati. Wafdun. Wafdun means delegation, and the plural is wufudun. Wufudun, delegations, on the pattern of fu'ulun. Wufudun, delegations. Ghilafun, cover, and the plural is ghulufun, covers. Ta'amun, food, and the plural is on the pattern of af'ilatun, it will be at'imatun. At'imatun. Jarun, neighbor, and the plural will be jiranun. Jiranun. Okay, jiranun, it has tanween. Whereas we know that when we have alif and noon zaidatan, then we don't, it is mamnu min as-sarf. So why it is not mamnu min as-sarf? Yes, please, come on, my students. For a noun to be mamnu min as-sarf, it must have two reasons. Okay? Either it should be alam, and then it is alam, and then we have alif and noon zaidatan. Alam means it's a proper noun. For example, we say we have any name, or we have like the month of Ramadan. So Ramadanu. Ramadan is it's the name of the month, so it's a proper noun. That's why it will be Ramadanu. It will not accept tanween because it's the proper noun. Or it should be a sifa. For example, Jaw'an. Jaw'an is a sifa. So Jaw'anu, it will be mamnu min as-sarf. But Jiranun, it is not mamnu min as-sarf. It has one reason, which is alif noon zaidatan, but it's a common noun. It's not a proper noun. So please remember again, for a noun to be mamnu min as-sarf, it must have two reasons. Reason number one, it must be alam, or it must be a proper noun, or it must be the name of a specific person, place, or thing. And then number two, it should have alif and noon zaidatan, extra alif or noon. Then we will say that this is mamnu min as-sarf. Did you get it?
Yes,
All
Ustad.
right. Jidarun, wall, and we have judurun, and also we have seen judaranun, if you remember. In the previous exercise we have discussed. So judurun means walls. Shafatun, lip. The dual will be shafatani, shafataini, shafataini. Okay, that's the dual, but the plural, we have to give the plural, jama'.
Shafal.
Shifahun, shifahun. It's a very unusual kind of plural. We have like some patterns, some words on this pattern. For example, we have ma'un. Ma'un means water, and the plural is mi'ahun. Mi'ahun, lips. Maridun, yes, who remembers the plural of maridun?
Marda.
Marda, excellent. A patient and then patients, excellent. Jarihun, jarha, maridun, marda. There are very few nouns that come on this pattern. All right, so I think inshallah we can stop today here, and then when we come back in the next lesson we will complete our exercises, and also we will discuss the vocabulary as well. Do you have any question to ask?
No, Ustad.
Alhamdulillah, everything is clear. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaykum.